Hello and welcome once again to the Nexus Rumble. Yes, I am joined tonight by Scissor, and we have got some fantastic Rumble matches tonight. Do we not, Scissor?
Well, I'm looking forward to them. I cannot look at my crystal ball at the moment, but I am no doubt that these players will do their absolute best to provide the highest level of entertainment to every one of us.
Yeah, so ultimately we have Munchies versus Balls to the Wall here this morning, this evening.
This evening, yes. Indeed.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a good one. Munchies have been doing really well, performing superbly through the Nexus Rumble, really taking on some hard. Oh, we've just got to ban someone from chat. Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like they might have been hacked because they've sent like normal messages in the past.
Well, they should probably sort that out before they can always send an unbound request later.
Exactly. So after we get on with that, so basically what we're having right now is, Balls to the Wall versus Munchies, and we're going to make sure that they're on the right sides. We're just going to swap them over in Soothsayer. We can't be bothered to do too much about it all. But yes, we've had the bans already come in, and obviously this is the reduced pool of the Nexus Rumble. With Battlefield of Eternity, Towers of Doom, Sky Temple, Dragonshire, and Infernal Shrines all open and available. Is that right? Is that what the map pool was?
What?
That feels not like the map pool.
That's the one I took from the last Nexus Rumble discussion. Did I pick the wrong one?
No, that is it. But apparently, so I did have a really good balanced map pool, but apparently it's not that.
Wow, so surprised. We're doing a good job here.
Wow, I think that is the exact same map pool as last week that I accidentally copied and pasted. So, but it's already done. It's already there. There's Scissor. I've messed up this week. Well.
We're going to Dragonshire. I'm happy. I never get to cast a game of Dragonshire. I never get to cast... Well, here we are.
Here we go. Indeed. Well, it looks like these teams are already ready. And Dragonshire is a fantastic map, obviously, to go on. We're going to get kicked off with this, and then in our next match, it's going to have some fun maps involved for sure. So let's get it, and we go into the draft here on game number 1 in the Nexus round.
Yeah, so Dragonshire, very well known because it's one of the older maps with the 3-point... Whoa, stumbling over my own tongue here. A 3-point objective in which you have to capture the top shrine, bottom shrine, and then channel in the mid lane to finally secure yourself that nice, juicy Dragon Knight.
Yeah, so we'll see what these guys go with ultimately. With Munchies having the first pick here, it's going to help them out to try and, control the map a little bit more perhaps. Maybe we'll see something like a Falstad. I
think Balls has first pick, not the Munchies.
No, the Balls of the Wall picked the map, so they're swapped over compared to what they should have been on the calendar.
Okay, that's okay.
Confusing us already, Scissor. It's all gone wrong today. It's all gone wrong.
Oh. That's what you get when you prep everything and then forget something else.
Yeah.
Anyway, these are two well-known heroes on Dragonshire, like the Dahaka, the Junkrat for the bottom lane control, the Dahaka for the top lane control. So not too surprising to see them go. So let's see what we get.
Sylvanas coming out here. Yeah, so I was just going to look at Munchie's statistics, see if they've played much Dragonshire before, and they've played it once. Picked it themselves in season 18. If you just excuse me, Scissor, I'm just going to have to pick up the phone.
Well, good luck, have fun with your phone call. I will try to keep everyone in the stream entertained. We have a Joanna first pick. Very strong tank, of course. Wave clear. Well, used for area control, which you will need on the fight of the shrines. Although usually it's also... There's two ways to play the map. You can either go real hard on the shrines or rotate around, resting control on one shrine while keeping macro pressure on that. And Rexar, this is one of Rexar's best map because he's actually 2 heroes in one. Who'd have guessed? With his bear, Misha can secure control of that shrine while the hero itself is soaking the minions. Or the other way around, like put your hero on the point and get your bear to soak. But usually it's the bear on the shrine because you don't want to take too much damage with your hero.
Scissor, we are back. We're back.
Well, welcome back.
Apologies for that small delay here. Yes, Li Ming and Stukov now for the side of Munchies. A couple of picks that they are comfortable with playing, and not surprised to see it. They've got to deal with this Rexar though. How are you thinking they're going to try and deal with the Rexar in the offlane?
Well, I pick a hero which can rotate easily over, like a Zeratul or a Falstad or something like that, and make it a 2v1, kill him quickly, and then make sure your team doesn't fall too far behind, or just ignore him and get your value in the bottom lane, because Rexar is not too good at rotating. He's very good at securing that top lane shrine, but if you just deathball the bottom lane, well, there's not much Rexar can do about that.
Yeah, well, that is sort of the thing. You need to have that quick rotation. I like to see a Genji for it, and with a Lunara on the enemy side, with a Nubrak, it's kind of a bit scary here. Especially if you're a Genji, get hit by a Lunara auto attack, can be a lot of damage on you. Although, you can sometimes get a lot of damage on the Lunara.
But still, we still have globals open, like Brightwing's banned out, but and the Haka's banned out, so actually we only have Falstad remaining. I'm talking. But deciding not to go for that, instead Cassia and Gaslow, so I don't think there will be much I mean, there will be attention to the top lane, but not as much as if you had like one of those blinky Genji or Zeratul heroes, which like to roam around and kill.
Yeah, and here we see that the Balls to the Wall... Oh, sorry, it's not actually swapped over on stream, I've just realised. I need to click the update button. Balls to the Wall have picked up Hanzo here in that last slot. Now, I'll be honest, this is a bold thing, because Munchies have got such short range. Li Ming, does have the range available, but Hanzo should pretty much be able to get a free damage all over the enemy team here. Johanna's going to find it very hard to close in, so we'll see how these teams go about it. Which way would you be putting your points right now, Scissor, if you could?
At the moment, I like the blue draft better. With the vision control, Lunara and Hanzo are both excellent heroes to secure vision in that triangle bush in the mid lane. And of course, they have Rexar, which I'm a fan of Rexar.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Having this vision control, having the Rexar on the top. I don't know how well Gaslow goes into it, but it might be one of the few heroes that can do something. But just the fact that Cassia is not going to be able to deal well into Lunara and the Hanzo. So we'll have to see how these teams do as we go into game number 1 here on Dragonshire. And here on the blue, we have Balls to the Wall with Dark Pyrox on the Anubrak, WC3 Mouse 2 on the Lunara. Benny... Sorry, I just get so distracted by that name every time. Benny on Rexar, L-Dog on Lunara, and on Lucio and Layuga on Hanzo. Can you tell that I'm just a bit all over the place today?
I mean, if you wouldn't have told me, I wouldn't have guessed. On the red side, we have the Munchies with Panagiris on Joanna, Mekaku playing Stukov, Venom on Gaslow, Stab Kill on not Stab Kill hero, and Grievous on Cassia.
Yeah, so
a nice orb.
We're seeing at the start of this match already, a little bit of stacking coming out from the Cassia, and of course Q build from Hanzo, who really wants to try and help with getting some of this wave clear on this map. So Q build comes in quite handy, and it just means you get a lot of range and a lot of damage. And range is exactly what you want to have, especially when you just can be a million miles away from the enemy team against them in this rotation.
Yeah, indeed. Normally I like auto attack build better on the Cassia, but against this kind of team you don't really want to step up and auto attack, and as you only unlock the range at level 13, that might be a little bit late to get value out of.
Yeah, you're absolutely right here. So now it's just going to be a case of, can the rotation keep up here? The red team, obviously, they have the Johanna. They have a few tools that they can use to try and, you know, make sure that they stay ahead in the rotation. But it'll be on the other side of things. We have Hanzo already doing the camp, whereas the siege camp on the red team is being done by multiple heroes. Sorry, I'm having real trouble with my hotkeys and just my brain today.
You see the blue team aggressively posturing on that bottom lane, like making sure that the red team cannot make an easy rotation and making sure they have to walk the other way around, doing the safest rotation possible. That costs a lot of time if you have to do that a few times.
Yeah, and we see Lucio just dancing here, just literally dancing over the Johanna. Meanwhile, the red team are prioritizing doing a bruiser camp, trying to make sure they have some sort of way of pushing in the top against the Rexar. He's sort of pretty good at holding those points, but if you do force him, he can have trouble.
Yeah, he's not that good at clearing a bruiser camp like that. Will take him a long time unless he gets any sort of help, but he doesn't really need to clear it fast. He can just tank it in front of the towers with the Misha and heal it back up. In the meantime, the 4-man of the blue side is fighting with the 3-man of the red side, and obviously winning that fight because, yeah, there's only 3 red heroes in the bot lane.
Yeah, we saw Li Ming having to contest mid against the Rexar. Meanwhile, Gazlo was able to take the top, and they'll be trying to do some work here, trying to do some sort of push, but Dark Pyrox has crept up here, maybe looking to get a little bit of a CC chain and find that damage that's needed, but Venom is feeling very secure here, you know, keeping himself shielded up. So the red team, they're able to take over this bottom bell tower, and that bell tower shrine, and so now they can try and put the pressure onto the blue team instead. They have 1 siege minion that's about to go down, so in all honesty they need to try and find some other respect of gaining an advantage here while they have the 2 points channeled.
Yeah, because they're not getting that Dragon Knight unless they put some more effort in the mid lane. Joanna's over there clearing the minions, and she's obviously better at that than Anubarak. So she will probably be able to lock him down there, and if Joanna rotates back over, maybe they can force something to happen.
Yeah, especially as Anubarak really can't leave that mid lane. You know, they have to be so worried. Well, as soon as they see 4 people in the bot, maybe they can think about doing something. You know, they can keep track of Gazlo top, and as long as they see every hero, they know that mid's not in a worrisome point. So here we see Anubarak thought, right, now is my chance, but Pangeris has rotated once again, but that is, of course, because Rexar has wrestled off the point on the top.
Yeah, and now engagement in the bottom lane. Nice stun onto the Cassia, losing her armor that way. And Cassia's dropping very, very low very quickly, but she's able to make it out of there just fine. Now needs to be healed back up. And now it's the blue team who has control of both of these shrines, and the red team needing to park a hero in the mid lane, making sure that no one wrests that Dragon Knight away from them.
Yeah, so as we see, L-Dog is now dancing around Johanna, trying to make sure that they see all the 4 things, and they have. Gazlo is wrestling off the top. They have managed to get it away from Benny. Benny not wanting to sacrifice too much of Misha's HP for the top. So once again, the red team are in control because blue team snuck Nubrak away to try and get some sort of value out of this DK, but it's not a Dragon Knight. But unfortunately, they've not been able to do it just yet.
Yeah, and this is why I like Dragonshire. It's a really complicated map, but this kind of dancing around the map, doing all sorts of things in all of the lanes, which are all important, that's kind of what a MOBA is all about, isn't it?
It is, and it's just too much for my little brain, if I'm honest. Sometimes, Dragonshire, there's just too much going on. We see the Dragon Knight taken in what seems to be a sliver of time that the blue team had it available. Really well done here by them.
I didn't think they'd be able to get it because the red team was on the point, but obviously a little bit too late with getting that control back. And now it is Anubarak in the Dragon Knight, so maybe the red team can make something aggressive happen if they choose to, well, give some area control somewhere, because that Dragon Knight will be able to get it if you give him enough space.
Unfortunately, Pangeris was very low on HP and still is. Has only just managed to half back. Stab's kill, falling lower and lower. Mikaku having to position very far forward as this Stukov, and has to pop the pustules to be able to keep Stab kill alive. Here comes Anubarak though with that Dragon Knight. They don't have a lot of HP left, only 14 seconds available. They're looking to try and maybe get that level 10 soon for his team, so they can make some plays, make some kills, and perhaps find some structures advantage here for them with that level 10 advantage.
Yeah, so the red team will have to play very defensively at the moment because they do not yet have access. And there's the arrow. Oh, sidestepped.
Really well dodged here by the red team, and now they can secure their level 10. Blessed Shield already going out, I believe hitting a beetle, so not stunning people everything they could have wanted to. Stab, stab, kill, trying to make plays here on the side. They've gone for Disintegrate, of course, because there is a cocoon on the other side.
Yeah, and Disintegrate can deal with that very nicely, unless it's the Ming in the cocoon. Nope. Nope, it's Joanna, and immediately Disintegrate popped to get her out.
Well, this is what I think the Cassia comes in. You know, if the Ming's in the cocoon, they can use the Cassia to sort of get people out.
Fend still takes a long time if you have to stand there and fend the cocoon.
But once again, we're seeing that this range advantage that the blue team have just really punished Johanna. She doesn't have the gap closing tools. She's having to sort of position far forward, and the blues are just kiting her back. So here, once again, she is hard to hearth back to the Hall of Storms. And so now the blue team themselves will be thinking, right, where can we go here? What can we do with this advantage? And one of those things was picking up this siege camp and just resetting themselves. It's 0 kills to 0, by the way, Scissor.
Yeah, it's just these teams have been dancing the dance like almost perfectly. It's just the red team did lose the first Dragonite, but other than that, there's no major mistakes on either side. It's just the small advantage that the blue team keep getting with their range. But if the red team can ever secure a kill somewhere, I have no doubt that they will be able to snowball that into some bigger advantage.
Yeah, well, on paper, the blue team certainly are the better contenders here. But every Nexus Rumble, the Munchies have been stepping up. No matter who I throw at them, they do some value. But here is a good thing. That Cocoon comes out, but the Flailing Swipe from Makaku keeps everybody safe. Stab, stab, kill in a lot of danger right now, but so is L-Dog. L-Dog goes down. The first blood goes over to the Munchies. Now they can try and do something. Gazlo is here. It is a 5 versus 4. They are looking to try and get something with stab, stab, kill. With 100 HP, has to be healed up here by Makaku.
Yeah, that's a healer down. So for the time that a healer is not there, the red team can play a little bit more aggressive because every HP they take, the blue team will have a hard time getting it back.
Yeah, but they've rotated Johanna all the way to the top. It seems a little bit bold to have done that. Now it's going to be a 5 versus 3 here in the bot lane, and the balls are going to come out and slow everybody down. Here it comes, the 4 versus 3. And Makaku is stepping forward, just trying to make space between their team, and ultimately will go down.
Yeah, and the red team will not have enough time to channel the Dragonite, so that kill was just in time because Joanna was already in the mid lane trying to probably get that Dragonite.
Yeah, it seemed like such a bold decision here from the Munchies. But as I say, you know, they're doing so well. They got that first blood. They are using their strengths, even though the blue team had the coordinated cocoon as soon as Li Ming is then channeling her Disintegrate. They are able to land that Dragon Arrow. Really good stuff here coming out from balls to the wall.
Oh, well, Disintegrate used before Cocoon was dropped, but Anubrak was nice enough to... Okay, well, you drop Disintegrate, there's a Cocoon for you to get it right out.
Yeah, and obviously on the other side of things as well, Hanzo did pop that Dragon's Arrow, but it was such a short range one, and Painjiris just really wasn't in danger here. Nope. Gazlo goes down in the top lane to
I totally
the
missed that kill, but yeah, probably overstepped his bounds a little bit. And now the blue team is playing aggressive in the bottom lane as well. That fort is sure to fall very shortly. Maybe need another minion wave for that.
Yeah, and they can keep the pressure on bot here. That would be fantastic because Rexar is going to get a channel on this Dragonite. And absolutely they do. Red team perhaps sacrificing the Dragonite here for the strength of pushing away from this bottom fort, but ultimately didn't really matter. Dragonite is going to be cleaning up mid-fort, and then surely this bottom one goes down to just a couple of autos from Lunara.
Yep, so bottom fort down, mid fort taking a lot of damage, taking a Dragonite away from the opposing team, which is smart because the Dragonite isn't really good at fighting. And now the red team will have to make a decision again. Will they go after the Dragonite, or will they hold their heroes mid to defend this fort?
Yeah, and so as we see here, the red team are trying to focus down, trying to get through the Dark Pyrox, but no, it comes down. A really good Cocoon into Dragon's Arrow, but Makaku comes out with the Flailing Swipe, peeling away. Now Pangeris is in the back, but a good route onto that Hanzo, and they get eliminated. The leaming damage is just so much. Pangeris is falling lower and lower. Will get some heals from Lukaku, and they just don't have the instant burst damage anymore. Without a Hanzo, it is just Lunara's trickling damage. No leaping strike either, so it is a very good position for them to push forward. And with 100 HP, a Nubarak escapes.
Falling so low. Yeah, that's another kill blast over to the red team, but they did get a lot of map pressure out of that. And without that bottom lane fort, it will be a hard defense for the red team on that bottom lane shrine.
I mean, you say they got some value, but ultimately Dragonite didn't claim mid fort. They went top instead, opened it up a tiny bit, didn't get a lot of damage on that fort. And so I think red team defended pretty well there, but we're going to see how they can do here on this death corridor. A lot of damage coming out. Misha goes down, can stab, kill, find anything more. But no, with this Orb Seeker build, they just can't get those close quarters resets. Now 2 go down. Leeming and Johanna both dead. Griffer's falling lower and lower, goes down as well. Makaku is going to be cleaned up. Gazlo is the sole survivor here for the Reds.
Yeah, so this mid fort is probably doomed as well, because not much a solo Gazlo can do into this. Well, I wouldn't call it a death ball, into this push of the blue team.
Yeah. Very well punished here from the Blues. Absolutely right here. And now they're going to have a double siege camp in the bottom scissor.
Yeah, Cocoon was used to lock Gazlo in place. Arrow was used as well, but that was like 6 seconds too early because Gazlo was still hiding in the Cocoon.
It might have been one was used at the same time. Who knows? Who knows what was going on? But ultimately a win here for Venom, as they just had to use their Unstoppable from, of course, their Mecha Lord upgrade.
Oh. Well, he's using Robogoblin. Then I'm not sure at all why they were fighting onto that blue team siege camp if they don't have the gravel bomb. Like, haha, you're stuck.
Yeah, they did so well in blowing up that Hanzo, and if they can find that sort of kill again, it will do really, really well. But fighting in these choke points is a little bit tough. Oh. And there's the damage once again. Lunara after the follow-up CC. It's super good, but they just can't get the chase. Blessed Shield is there engaged, and it's already been used. Griffer's trying to find something. Doesn't have Valkyrie, so it is just a case of Blessed Shield, you're one and done. That's the problem here with Johanna.
That's the entire lockdown they have, really. It's Blessed Shield and maybe a lucky Stukov slow if they hit it, but other than that, they don't really have any CC to speak of.
They need to be careful here. They're prioritizing this Bruiser camp a lot, and the blue team are going to be able to get something out. But the Stukov gets cocooned. Out comes Li Ming's Disintegrate, and now Rexar is going to be trying to channel thing. But there is a Gazlo there as well. Do not be afraid.
Yeah, so that Dragonite will not be captured just yet. But the blue team can just step back a little bit. They still have control of the top shrine. Just wait for the Lunara to respawn and you'll be fine. I'm not sure why they're walking up to this point. That seems rather aggressive at the moment.
Yeah, 2 seconds on Blessed Shield. If they can find the Hanzo, maybe they can find the kill. There is Beetles in the way. Stab, kill falling so low because of this Hanzo Q build. Oh, and there comes Blessed Shield. Stab, kill goes in. Blinks in as well. Tries to find the damage, but unable to do so. And actually, with Blessed Shield down now, the blue team can't find the engage. They find the Dragon's Arrow. They've gone in. Direct Pyrox is the one that falls, though, with the return kill onto Hanzo as well. The red team are just finding so much here out of basically nothing. The Boars come in, trying to slow down the retreat, but the red team are doing fine, Scissor.
Yeah, I totally forgot what started off that team fight. It wasn't Blessed Shield, because that was used earlier. So, well, what happened there again?
Well, what happened was the Dragon's Arrow, and then Anubrak went in, but Anubrak was already very low on HP.
And they delivered themselves into the maw of danger. Okay.
It can happen sometimes with Anubrak. It can happen to the best of us.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But with the level 20 advantage now, the blue team, they're going to have to just defend into this Dragonite.
Yeah, there's 2 heroes down, so the level 20 advantage honestly doesn't mean all too much, because you won't win a 5v3 fight even with that level 20 advantage.
Yeah, we're seeing the Dragonite being prioritized in top. Obviously, Gazlo got in the Dragonite, so probably just said, look, guys, I want the top lane to be a bit easier.
I want my force down. No, it's usually you want to take the Dragonite away from the enemy team. The enemy team was defending mid, and you have 4 heroes, which is 4 more than 3. Heard it here first. Oh, another team fight in the mid lane. Let's see what will happen. Disintegration used, but the Stukov was in the cocoon too long to help this Kasia survive, and now Joanna is surrounded, and it doesn't look like she'll be able to get out. And Ubrak looking for more, getting the stun onto the Stukov, and the blue team is on the chase. Let's see if they can get another kill. Yeah, another stun. I think this Stukov will go down as well, and that's a 3-4-0 exchange in favor of the blue team.
Yeah, superb CC follow-up here from the Blues. You know, landing that Dragon's Arrow, then just following up with Dire of Pyrox, and obviously as soon as Misha arrives as well, they just have so much CC. But look at the damage coming out from Stab Stab Kill. If they are able to land something onto some of these heroes, it can be incredible. But we see, this is the thing, the dive under, oh my god, they stay alive. The high five keeps them alive, but Gazlo goes down. Dark Pyrox falling so low. Can Stab Stab Kill find anything more for this incredible miracle core defense here?
Well, the blue team's heroes are dropping, so maybe they will not finish because the red heroes are respawning, and there is a blast shield once that Joanna pops out.
They have to be so careful. But we see Li Ming goes down after being stunned and rooted on the core boundary. Core goes down. Blue team take game number 1 here. GG, well played. To balls to the wall.
Lucio not percentage heal by Tony Poda. Anubrak isn't the highest HP targets, right? So you'd rather have the cooldown reduction on your Amped up rather than the percentage heal.
So I think, you know, Anubrak is like on the boundary. I think they're actually you know, it's one of those things where the percentage heal can really help, but up the frequency actually gives you a lot of uptime. House Party as well, little known fact, does also increase the percentage healing. So they did go for the House Party as well. But ultimately up the frequency, especially when you've got a Nubrak and, you know, you're taking a lot of poke from the Li Ming onto your squishies as well. I think that's where they wanted to sort of have a little bit more of the, you know, a little bit more.
Yep.
As well as altogether on the side, on level 13, you know, the more uptime on your altogether means that you get more speed, maybe. That's not how that works. This is crossfade. Not. Ignore me. But balls to the wall taking game number 1 here. This is
Yeah, very well played by them. Can't say otherwise. Of course, very well played by the red team as well. But in the end, blue team taking victory on map number 1.
Yeah, so now it is the case of me trying to find the match lounge once again.
I pinged you in it, so you should have a nice
well, the thing is, I left.
It's number 3.
I leave it lots. There we go. So, first pick is being picked up here by the Munchies.
Yep.
So we already had Sky Temple banned out by them, and Infernal Shrines has been banned out on the other side of things. So it is going to be a Battlefield of Eternity here for the team in blue. But yeah, what a good match. What a good match. You know, it looks so good, but also just having that expertise of knowing when to press the core. And I think that sometimes can be one of the real skills higher up in the leagues. You know, you knowing when to push for the core and to try and get that finish. Really important stuff.
Bit surprised by the Battlefield of Eternity pick because they not handedly, but they did convincingly win this Dragonshire map. And if you would look at Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity, if you pick a map which is like Battlefield of like Dragonshire, I'd pick Towers of Doom here and not Battlefield of Eternity because Battlefield of Eternity is more of a brawling map, right? And
a little bit. And, you know, if Stab Stab Kill can get some of those Li Ming pickoffs, it can be a really good place for Munchies to try and find a win. I will be very interested to see how these teams do here on this map, especially as Munchies have first pick.
That's why the Munchies didn't pick this map. The Balls who picked the map, and they want the map which is more like the first map because they did all right on that map. Think that's my logic.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe they've got some hidden strategies here. Of course, I can't remember quite what was banned by Balls to the Wall in game number 1 now. It's always those things where you should take notes, but...
yeah. What was it again? Sylvanas, I can't remember. Junkrat we had. What else? What else? The Haka was banned. I'd be surprised to see him banned here. Oh, I'm sure there were 3 more bans.
Yeah, there definitely were. There definitely were. Well, there's always bans. There's bans. Painful team main. I know, Munchies.
Yeah, that's not what you'd like to hear in an everyday conversation, but you know, it is what it is. We do not pick these team names, and the teams have to fly under their banner, so it's all on them.
Indeed, indeed. So with this, are we going to see? I imagine we'll see the Hanzo perhaps come out here again from Balls to the Wall. That was.
If it's not banned, I'm sure he'll be picked again, 100%. Same for the Li Ming. If Li Ming's not banned, she'll be picked up here again.
Yeah, they're definite heroes that need to be respected on Battlefield of Eternity. We shall see if these teams look to pick them up. As we go into game number 2 here of the Nexus Rumble Upper Series in the penultimate week of the major tournament, of the main tournament. Let's see how they do here on Battlefield of Eternity.
Yeah, so a lot smaller map, like more focused around the objective as well. Like you'll see more objectives taken on this map than we did see on the previous, where there were 2 or 3 Dragon Knights. I'm very sure we'll make it to 4 here.
Well, you say that, but if Balls to the Wall can squeeze out some of that early aggression that, you know, Munchies were able to fend off on Dragonshire, they can do that here on Battlefield Eternity. They might be able to find a little bit more of a snowball, a little bit more of a win, because
I know
Munchies were doing very well, but mainly because they had a sort of a better wave clearing comp with the Johanna or Cassia being able to rotate quickly to mid.
that immediate answer, man. Nice. Yeah, don't want to see that again.
And the Blaze coming out here. Blaze is a pretty standard ban these days in the higher tier levels. And of course, Munchies and Balls to the Walls are both pretty damn good teams.
I'm not sure if Blaze was banned on the first map. Well,
he was certainly banned at some point.
Okay. Well,
by one team. I believe it was Balls to the Wall that banned it out. But I think it was done in the second rotation.
Okay, well, 2 heroes who were not banned out in the first game are banned out now because the Munchies do not want to face Hanzo and Lucio again. Which, to that I say, not too surprising to not want to go into that.
And the respect coming out here for Mikaku's Stukov. Definitely, Mikaku is deadly on that Stukov, so really well done. And did manage to net them a couple of kills for sure. So, let's see what goes on here. And we see that Griff has picked up the Valor, leaving that Li Ming coming through. Interesting here. Munchies might have a little bit of more of a strategy going around stab kills, more traditional picks, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd expect them to first pick the Li Ming like every time here because she's pretty unique in her team fighting capabilities. That if she ever gets a kill, you'll probably wipe the entire team off the map. But instead, going for that excellent race hero in the excellent, she got nerfed when her talent moved to level 7, but she's still pretty strong in the racing department.
Yeah, she absolutely is. And, you know, I think, you know, maybe they're worried about Valor. Valor is a key hero in the meta these days as well and can do out a lot of damage. So if Griffiths is able to sort of bully the Anubarak down a little bit, that can be very, very good.
I think Anubarak is one of the toughest tanks to get stacks of because he's constantly surrounded by those pesky little beetles, and those little beetles do not count as a hero hit whenever you fire off your... What's the ability called again? The Q? The puncturing arrow?
Yeah, the hungering arrow.
Hungering arrow, yeah, I was like puncturing. Wait, that doesn't sound quite right.
No, not quite, sister, but close, We see Greymane banned out, so really trying to focus down on some of that race composition that potentially could come out from Balls to the Wall. I know they have played a deadly Greymane as well in the past. Still a few heroes to think about, though. Certainly in the off lane, we've had Leoric and Blaze banned out here. It could be another Rexar pick, but we're going to see Tychus and Dahaka, of course, the dino from below.
Blue team's not racing. Blue team's just killing the opposing team and then taking their time with the Immortal.
Yeah, well, Leeming, of course, not well known for sort of incredible race, but having a decent enough race in sort of standard races and also good poke when you are going into a heavily defended immortal. So
if you play the map the same way as you played the previous map, like rotating around and just throwing skill shots at the opposing team, and sometimes accidentally hitting the immortal, yeah, Leeming's, there's no other than the Leeming.
No, and on the side of here now, the blue team, they've picked up Medivh. Medivh, that is a stab kill special, I suppose. One of the few. And that's going to be helping into this Leeming combo.
What about an auto attack Vala here?
I mean, auto attack Vala is very, very popular these days. L-Dog picking up the Malfurion here in the other side. Good at controlling Medivh portals. So I'll have to see how this battle really goes out. But yeah, Artanis from Venom as well, trying to stack up, maybe going for amateur opponent instead. The race is certainly on to the red side, but can the blues find the blow-up kills outside of the Medivh shields? Scissor, what are you thinking?
Well, only time will tell. If stab kill is as good as a Medivh as you make it out to be, I fear for the blue team, because a Geek Medivh player is such a pain to deal with.
Yeah, and this can be a decent map for Medivh. You know, it seems odd because he's not got good race, but you're so clumped up all the time that Medivh is able to get some good portal plays and good engagers, especially potentially if you go Leyline Steel into Apocalypse. Let's see what these teams have to do here as we are in our second match of this best of two on Battlefield of Eternity. Here in the Upper Rumble, these two teams will be facing off to maybe try and get qualification. Let's see how they do here. Game number 2. And here on the blue team, we have Balls to the Wall with Dark Pyrox on the Anubrag, WC3 Mouse 2 on the Tychus, Layuga on Leeming, Tahanka played by Benny, and L-Dog on the Malfurion.
And on the right side, in the red, it's the Munchies with Makaku playing Anduin, Venom on Artanis, Stab Kill playing Medivh, Panagreers on the Diablo, and Griffiths on the Vala.
Yeah, so what have we seen here from the Valor build? They have gone for Q.
So it is the quote-unquote standard build on this map.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye
Range on Tychus.
Yeah, range obviously, because they don't need to clear waves too much on this map. And I think that will just help them a little bit with trying to put pressure onto the Diablo. Of course, that is their goal here. Make sure that if Diablo wants to go in, they are comfortable losing over 50% of their health.
Artanis has not picked their talents yet, which indicates to me that will be the amateur opponent, because otherwise you want to start stacking. Ooh, Roots onto Anubrag. Falling very low in this early game, but no kill pressure, yeah.
Pangeris going for that Soul Shield, so we do expect to see the Stomp, but I do wonder if we will see the adaptation of the Apocalypse here. Have to wait and see. Up in the top, Benny has gone for the Dark Swarm talent on level 1 rather than any sort of juicing talent for the remainder. And we do have the amateur opponent coming out from Artanis.
I mean, like I said, not really a surprise. Oh, the Root on the Anubarak! So he's not able to burrow charge out. And that tower, so he took a few shots from that tower and bring him down.
Yeah, really well done here by Pangeris. You know, using the Diablo abilities to great effect, and also making sure that they have the tower to help do a little bit of additional damage, because stab kill on the Medivh won't get a crazy amount of damage. But Pangeris goes in, another fantastic route from Makaku, but the sleep here. Oh, and it's enough to take down the Leeming, but the pull already used means the Diablo is in a little bit of danger. The shield comes out. Maybe Diablo can get out, but of course, there is a portal. Medivh, they cheat. But with a full rotation here from Benny, means that they have to give up this bottom siege camp to the blue team.
Yeah, but in return, Artanis was able to quickly grab that top lane camp, because there was no real use in him rotating, because the team fight would have been over by the time he got there. So instead, getting some advantage on another side of the map. And look at this Diablo trying to interrupt that rotation from the Haka. Oh, and instead taking the Artanis with them, trying to keep them all safe. Medivh dropping low and Medivh falling down. That is unfortunate. Losing all of his stacks. Diablo also dropping very low. Is there a stun from the Nurek? There is, and that should be the end. No. No, Diablo's still alive. Oh, the root, the sleep, and he's going down as well. Now Anduin in a little bit of danger, but is able to make it behind the wall, and that should be the end of that team fight.
I believe Diablo went down to a beetle auto attack there. That was the last bit of damage, but really well played here by the Blues. Once again, we see that Malfurion's roots doing so well into the Medivh here, catching out the Medivh, making sure that they couldn't quite escape. Because once that portal's used and you land on those roots, there really is nowhere for you to go. You either have to hope that your Anduin has pull, but if not, it's unlikely you are getting out of there.
Yeah. Not sure if the team had to take the... Well... Yeah, I'm not sure how that portal... Never mind, we're on the Immortal race. Let's see what both...
Interesting to say that they have gone for Dust of Appearance here from the Medivh. You know, not going for the Raven Familiar, which can be so popular in helping getting some engages here, but yeah, seems very unlikely.
Yeah, the extra poke from the Ravens, like you just pop over in a portal and then there's that stupid bird which pokes your enemies. Let's see, Diablo trying to run interference on the top Immortal. He might be in a little bit of trouble because he's being chased by 4 heroes and uses a minion to charge out. The blue team's still on the chase, but that gives the red team some time to catch up in the race. Time they desperately needed as they were behind.
Yeah, but Medivh Portal is here to save the day. Now the blue team has to defend here, as you say. They are slow on this. They just have the Tychus racing on the other side, but with a whole rotation, can the red team win this race? Scissor.
Well, I find it unlikely as this Tychus is just happily auto-attacking and there's just no time. Look at the health bars of these red heroes. They're falling so low and Diablo is the first to fall in a successful defense by the blue team around this Immortal.
Yeah, really good stuns.
Yeah, even a hero down, fighting around Immortal is so dangerous, especially in the early game where you don't have as much wiggle room in when to get hit by the Immortals.
Yeah, no, the blue team used fantastic use of the Immortal stuns here. Unfortunately, Anduin had to pull Diablo in, and unfortunately they were pulled into one of the stuns, so it just meant they were able to get a good bit of damage here onto Pangeris. But stab kill. Now here, the defense is just Valor with this defense, and without level 7, they don't have that Monster Hunter yet.
Yep, so it will be a very slow defense so far, and this fort will take us, well, substantial amount of damage, if not outright fall, with this Dahaka rotating over, making it 5 versus 4 team fight here, or not a team fight, assault on this fort. And once this fort falls, the blue team might just die for the red team.
Yeah, you risk a lot going for the Q build these days on the Valor, and that's a little bit of a trouble. Good stun here from Dark Pirates, forcing out the pull from Lukaku. They lose a whole fort on this first Immortal phase. So yeah, as I was saying, Q build, you lose out on speed on level 7, and you also, you can't just get stacks by auto-attacking heroes, which sometimes is a lot easier to do than trying to land your Q on an Uberak who is very far away.
Yeah, they do want to try and force this fight, trying for the Atana swap. Unfortunately, misses on the Tychus I think he was aiming for. And there's 5 blue heroes here. I'm not sure if the red team wants this fight right now.
No, it looks like they are backing away. Once they get level 10, they'll have a few more tools to their arsenal. But at the same time, the blue team will also have that cocoon, which could be incredibly useful on shutting down some of these Medivh portals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the blue team is like a level ahead at the moment, so the red team really has to be very careful in which fight they pick, and if they want to pick it before level 10, or if they want to play it more defensively. Oh, Diablo might be in trouble again. The nice body blocks by the Anubarak, making sure that the Diablo is not able to get back to safety.
Yeah, blue team doing such a fantastic job right now, really putting on that pressure, as sort of stated earlier. They're going to be getting to that level 10 just as his Immortals spawns as well. That is going to be hard for the Reds to defend, and already we see the Odin popped as well as the cocoon, and they are just going in there trying to find Lukaku. But with the Odin popped here, they are probably just looking to try and siege down this fort. The red team, meanwhile, are panicking. Their panic defense comes out. Out comes the swap attempt from Venom, but unfortunately nothing landed. They keep their fort, and they've baited out a couple of heroics from the Blues. This is pretty good here for the red team, if they can get to level 10 at reasonable time.
well baited out. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. They'll probably have them back at the time the red team will finally hit that level 10. So better use them or lose them, I guess. What I want to point out as well is that the red team has not yet taken the Bruiser camp on their side at any point during this map.
Yeah, sure. I mean, did they not take in the first?
Nope.
That's right.
Nope.
I guess not. I guess not. And yeah, that's going to lose you some macro pressure. Whereas the blue team, of course, were able to use it to great success in that first immortal phase.
Yeah, and that Bruiser camp would deal with any sort of catapult pressure in the top lane. Well, blue team is once again very much ahead on this immortal race. And finally, there's the level 10 for the red team, who really needs to start a team fight. Nice leyline seal, I guess.
They're looking to just play the old ring around the roses, go for the immortal damage. I mean, you can see that it's pretty decent chunk gone down, but they have lost out here on the immortal, and it's going to be pushing on this, 50%, if that.
Yeah, this sword's gone. That there's too much pressure here, right here.
And look at that, Odin just came off cooldown as well. It's going to be so good at pushing in and sieging with this immortal.
Will probably not even be used for this fort, to be honest, because this fort is so low. They'll just wait for it to fall and then maybe dive.
I mean, you
behind.
say that, but with amateur opponent and also monster hunter, this immortal is basically gone down already.
Well, okay, Cocoon used on the Anduin, so here they are, ready for teamfight. The Haka joining in. Let's see, Light Bomb was used. I don't think it hit anyone, but the red team still is between the blue team and the immortal, and that stun made sure that the red team was not able to retreat behind their gate. Medivh portal was used by the Anduin, but just a little bit too late, and Liming's Calamity secured that kill.
Yeah, we can see the value that Calamity can get in some of these hectic fights. Of course, Scabsab kill went for Seeker, which helps with sort of direct blow up. But having Calamity just means that a little bit of chaos, and when you've got that cooldown available, finishing off targets like that Anduin can be so easily done.
Yeah, you have to make sure, of course, that you do not die once you jump in with Calamity, but if you can ever use a safe Calamity, it's so much damage.
Yeah, it really does help out. So now, as we see the blue team just looking to position a bit further forward, they still have that Odin available if they really want to go for that siege. But on the other side of things, all heroics are there for the Reds. Ultimately, down to talent here, but it's still, when you're in a desperate time, it sometimes calls for desperate measures, Scissor.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to take that teamfight talent tier down, because otherwise you just keep falling further and further behind. And there's no real catch-up mechanic for them at the moment, because the Immortals will spawn in aggressive positions, which are not really helping in forcing a teamfight in any way.
No, and on the other side of things, Artanis is trying to do some soak. They are a little bit further out, though. The tongue comes out from Benny, but it doesn't quite connect. Lyugra was ready to follow up with all of their damage. But yeah, Venom positioning forward there just to try and get some soak, but ultimately expose themselves to a gank.
And once again, we have 4 blue heroes defending the Immortal, and Tychus just... well, he's doing Tychus stuff on the Immortal.
He's just been sat there. I'm surprised that they went the bigger, not even the bigger they are. They went in the rhythm rather than going for Master of Sasa, which could have been good value here with their build, and also the fact that they have just been playing playing the Racer.
I am indeed surprised by the in the rhythm. I would have expected the bigger they are. But otherwise Master Assassin, but this is one I wouldn't have guessed. This one you usually take against blinds, right? Because you want to extend your duration through the blind. Yeah,
it's sort of used for when there is a lot of blind targets, or even sort of a very hefty front line. And I wouldn't say Artanis Diablo is that, but a nice engage here from Banjo as the swap comes out. Maybe they can try and find Benny. The stun does land. The damage comes through. They're able to get a kill here. This could be a good turnaround point here for the Munchies, but out comes the Roots, really zoning off that Medivh. The damage comes onto Makaki, but they're not able to do anything additional. The red team have a 1 hero advantage for another 20 seconds before Dahaka is able to potentially burrow back.
Yeah, that should probably be enough time to just secure this entire Immortal. And that was an unfortunate circumstance that the Tychus took the halftime show because initiation onto the Tychus, nice epoch combo by the Diablo, dealing half of Tychus HP, but I don't think there will be anything else. Swap onto the Tychus into the enemy team, but he seems to be taken alive, and the pull was used to keep the Anduin safe. Oh, Roots, it's that Vala. And once again, the red team will have to be very careful now to not lose more heroes.
Yeah, with Valor down as well, it means that trying to snipe this Immortal is going to be super hard. 2,800 damage is not nothing. For a Valor, she can probably do it in about a second or two with this Q build. But with Medivh, with Artanis, and the rest of the team, it's going to be a lot harder. And so we do see the Immortal once again going over to the blue team.
Yeah, and the blue team might even going for the full invade because they do have 5 members. Oh, they decide not to risk it. They are level 16. They could.
At this point, though, they know they're going to be defending in that wave. Oh, they're thinking about it still. It's one of those things that what do they gain and what do they risk? They don't gain a lot here. They risk almost everything. Like, they have such a good lead right now.
I mean, if they get 1 or 2 kills, they win the game at that point. So to say that they have nothing to gain there that's a bit of an understatement, I think.
Yes, sure, but they're already winning the game, right? Right now, they are in a very good position. And
yeah, but they won't. They're not winning the game at the moment. Sure, they're winning the game, but not winning the game.
Yeah, but if they play their cards right, by all means.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, right, let's stop arguing about short calling and see what's going on here. As WC Mouse trying to go in. Oh, great kill from Lyuga. All you need is a couple of kills, and they could win the game, Scissor.
Yeah. It could have gone. Anyway, yeah, they get this keep. The top keep is still alive because the red team was able to defend that Immortal without any sort of backup from the blue team. But they do keep on pushing here. I'd like for them to just rotate to the top lane and get that keep as well without the Diablo there. That should be a very hard defense for the red team.
Just pop Odin. Come on, just pop Odin and get it done. Out comes the ley line, catches only onto a Nubrak. Nothing more here to say.
Well, ley line down, pop Odin, let's go. No? Okay, well, fine. Play it safe, I guess.
No Odin poppers here today.
Yeah, well, if you're not going for that bruiser camp, I guess it's the right call to not go for that keep either. So you play it safe. You play it boring.
Well, we see them maybe going for a little bit of excitement now as they're waiting to see where the red team appear on the map. They see a few of them in the bottom, and now they know that they can go forward. Anubrak and Li Ming just sieging this down. Panjiris is looking for that a little bit more, but ultimately it's enough damage that it makes it a little bit scary, and they have to commit more heroes here at the top. But it's 16 to 18. Now is the chance for the Reds.
Yeah, let's see if they can make something happen, because they do need something to happen.
Benny hiding in the...
Found the Diablo, not the target they were looking for.
Panjiris gets the flip.
Well, he charged over the wall, like out of position of his team, so there was no real follow-up. There is the APOC combo using the Leyline Seal onto the Ming, but all the damage is already healed up by Malfurion's Tranquility, and Tychus might be in a spot of trouble. Calamity taking him down as well. Oh, and the portal was interrupted by the wave of force. 2 heroes down on the side of the red team. This will be a very tough defense.
Yeah, so many good controlling tools here for the side of the red team. Using the Li Ming wave of force as well as the roots from Eldog. It just means it's so hard to use that mobility that Medivh does provide. So with this, 50% shields already gone on the Immortal. Can the red team do a desperation play here with just the 3 of them?
Well, so far they're just trying to chunk down the Immortal. And Vala is fast at racing. Is she 5 heroes? Oh no, wait. Daka's not helping. It's getting close, but not close enough.
You know, they chunked down half of it. And with only 3 of them, that's a pretty admirable thought. But now they need to think, how are they going to stop this game from going pear-shaped?
They probably have to defend forward, actually. Like, they cannot wait at their keep for the Immortal to rush in. because then the Immortal will just slice it down and move on to their core, and you don't want the Immortal to slash down your core. That makes you lose the game.
No, they need to be careful. They've got another camp in the bottom, which is why they had a camp already, which is why they went and rotated there. But now they need to think about having a 5v4 quickly before Dahak is able to come in, before that pressure comes onto the core. Out comes the ley line. It's really good. They're looking at Malfurion. Out comes the APOC. It's a little bit late. They're not able to get to what quite they wanted. Medivh's falling so low and does get taken down. Now Li Ming will be able to get something. And Isolation pops onto Anduin. Anduin falling lower and lower. Gets a good route, but the Light Bomb is just too late. Too little, too late. Venom gets pulled around here by the Wave of Force. The Repulsion even at level 20. Artanis goes down. The Immortal is on the core. Diablo is next. Griffiths, the sole survivor here, getting beaten and chased. And it is going to be a full wipe and a GG here to Balls to the Wall.
Yeah, GG. Well played. And no, please, my KDA has been called in chat. Well, unfortunately, he got taken out. Yeah, full health Immortal or half shield Immortal. That will take your core down real good.
It does the work. It does the work, certainly. Well, there we see it. A good match here for Balls to the Wall, able to take the W here on Battlefield of Eternity. It definitely looked like a little bit of a better game on Dragonshire, but ultimately Munchies did a fantastic job no matter what here today in our Upper Rumble.
Yeah, but that's not the end of the show tonight, is it, Transparent?
It's not. Oh, as I yawn from, I don't know, being out in the sun too long yesterday and sunburn. We have another match here. We're just going to be trying to find out maybe if someone's playing in it still. Maybe we will find out if we're going to be having our second match here of the lower rumble of Vacation in Purgatory versus not Munchies, MK Robotics.
See if we can find them somewhere already.
I'm trying to look in BNet rather than anything else. It could be that they are still in a game. Of course, they are playing a match right now as well. The Nexus Rumble here is every Monday at 20 CEST. I think you probably, if you're tuned in today, you probably know that already, but we do have indeed a match every Monday, 20 CEST, and it could be you. We've got one more week of the open entry, open qualifying, and then we will be going strong into some quarterfinals and grand finals here to really crown the Nexus Rumble champions. So, as final preparations begin, Scissor, who would you like to see out of a little bit of a skewed MK Robotics going against Vacation in Purgatory?
Wait, why are the MK Robotics skewed?
Well, they have dropped some of their best players because they are substituting in a different match. Okay. So this is why they've been allowed into the lower rumble. You know, we did the math on what they were doing, on who was playing, and it's like, right, okay, if that's who's playing, we'll put you in the lower rumble for a match. And so it's all worked out here quite well. And so we have Vacation in Purgatory, our current champions of the lower rumble, going up against MK Robotics, who are sort of towards the lower end of the upper rumble.
Well, everybody likes a good underdog, right? So we'll be cheering for MK Robotics here.
You think MK Robotics are the underdogs?
Well, you just said they dropped all their good players, or some of their best players.
Yeah, it's true, but you know, there's still a Division 4 team.
I mean, Vacation in Purgatory is a Division 5 team, right? So that's there's only one division difference in there.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. What else is there to say, really? We've obviously got some of our map pool has been reduced once again to the slightly mistaken map pool that was the same as last week. But you know,
I mean, it's fine, Franz. It's fine. It's still 10 maps. It's still split evenly. It's all good. It's fine.
No one worked out that I accidentally did all the bad maps again together.
Yeah, keep announcing it. They'll never know.
Of course, there is still Tomb of the Spider Queen in this, but the rest of them, of course, Garden of Terror, Alterac Pass, Volskaya Foundry, and Cursed Hollow are available to pick. I know what might get picked if Azok wishes.
It's Lily, right?
I mean, Alterac Pass is the other option here.
Yeah, but he's playing Lily, right?
Most likely. Most likely. So as everyone's getting started on their other round 2 matches, we are currently waiting for our the one we chose, the one we'd like to play. Is
Yep. Are they still playing or?
Well,
Because
I think they are.
I haven't seen them hanging around in one of the channels just yet.
Well, it looks like we're in match round 16, potentially at some point, but potentially also we are waiting still for the match to finish.
Fair
on the
enough.
other side.
Fair enough.
Oh, and I need to sort out the titles here. I need to sort out the titles as Vacation in Purgatory is taking far too much space.
Yep, I was going to say it's like it's clipping a bit, and it's just showing Purgatory, which is a fine thing to show, of course, but not really what they were going for.
No, not at all. So, with this, we can maybe do a quick recap of the Rumble leaderboards at the moment.
Okay, well,
Maybe
if you have those available.
I'm gonna try.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try and set something up quickly while you talk.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep him entertained. Hi, chat. How you doing? Me, trying to keep you all entertained while Transparent is doing some admin backhand stuff, trying to show us the current scores in the Nexus Rumble, the current leaderboards even in the Nexus Rumble. See who's ahead, see who's behind, see who can still make it, see who's already vacation in. No, I'm not making that joke. Who's already not able to make the playoffs?
Well, here we go. We are going to show our upper leaderboard as it is right now.
Whoosha.
There we see on the screen. Looking lovely. So in the upper one, we do have AFK for Koku, who have played 10 matches. They've got a score of 20. Really done well for themselves here so far. Whereas if we look sort of lower down the list, we've got teams like the Bunker Crew, HNC, who turned up and rocked the world, as well as MK Robotics, Stockholm Syndrome, and Unleashed Academy. Sort of around the middle, we've got sort of where teams have turned up, but maybe not many times, because we tend to make people have even matches for at least a little while, which is why sort of some of the top teams like Unleashed and Munchies are in the middle of the pack, because they're given hard matches, you know. Not to say that AFK for Coco haven't had hard matches, but we might give them some harder ones next week to sort of balance it out a little bit. Obviously, with only 7 weeks worth of matches, it can be a little bit tricky to get it all perfect. But yeah, a score of 20 so far here for AFK for Coco.
It's a high score. But they've played a lot as well, so there's that.
Yeah, of course, if you play more, there's more opportunities to get 3 points or even 1 point in the draws. So that's what you have to be aware of here in the next Rumble. In the lower Rumble, of course, it's a little bit smaller here. Vacation and Purgatory on a score of 15 out of 6 matches. Beehive catching up with 6, and the Rattlers there just behind, but the rest all on 0. The Vacation and Purgatory have been turning up every week, which is why they have got so many points.
Every week? How?
Actually, not every week. Not every week.
Because we just had people with 10 matches, and they were only 6. So.
Yeah, well, we had one week was missed out in total for the lower Rumble. And I think, Vacation Purgatory didn't turn up for 1 week as well, which is why they're at 6. So that is what's happened there. Yeah, have we got any teams yet? No, not yet, not yet. They're taking their time, you know. They're taking their time, Scissor.
Yeah, sometimes you have like a 35-minute Towers of Doom game, and you just have to make sure that you do not lose your final core point, because that's the one that matters on that map.
It does. It's an important one. That 39th point.
And I mean, if you don't use your first 39 points, have you really used all your resources, is what I always question myself.
You're
on that
absolutely
map.
right, Scissor. You're absolutely right. You need to. You need to. But yeah, it's been great to have so many people play in the Nexus Rumble this season. 18 teams on the side of the upper Rumble, and in the lower Rumble 7 teams. So we've had over 20 teams. Not quite as big turnout. I think so. I've just been asked, but we may be shifting up the Nexus Rumble. So if you do have any feedback as a spectator or as a player, please do let us know. Oh, crumbs.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well, we always like this. It's a little bit different of a format. Like you see some maps which are never seen anywhere else, like Dragonshire. Because of the smaller map pool for each match, and you cannot ban everything there. So
Yeah, so we'll see what they go for. I mean, out of this map pool, which map would you be looking to play? For me, it's got to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's my love of all maps. It's my best map by far. What would you say is your pick here in this map pool?
Ultrac Pass.
Ultrac Pass. What are your top tips for Ultrac Pass then, Scissor?
Ultrac Pass. Don't let your core down. No. Don't rush for the objective, because usually it's better to first gain an advantage and then go for the objective rather than trying to defend around that point and gain the advantage there. Do the siege camps in time and do not let those drift. Those are very important.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and be careful of those mud splashes. They will slow you down if you stand in them too long.
They certainly do. You can't get stuck in the mud. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you will be in grave danger. We're still keeping an eye on this on this next match. Perhaps we should have gone to a break here, but it's so hard to know. It's so hard to know. You never know when they're gonna pop out of a thing.
Small outbreak and give me a chance to refill my water.
Yeah, let's go for a very small break. So we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.